All right, we have another session of our campaign, uh, Curse of Strahd. But before we get too far into that, why don't we learn a little bit about who we have at the table?
Yeah, hey, what's up? I'm Fresh. I play Mograine, an Aasimar cleric who follows the true sun.
Okay.
Everyone, I'm Connor. I play Valen, a drow shadow elf sorcerer from the Underdark that roams the lands with his shadow hound companion, Nyx.
I'm Caitlin, and I play Jinx. Jinx is a mischievous and curious blackbird tabaxi rogue inquisitive. And this week's fun fact about Jinx is I think in a recent session it was thundering or something. And Jinx actually really loves thunderstorms. He likes watching the lightning and he likes listening to the thunder because he thinks it's the great cat in the sky purring.
Amazing. Alrighty, well then, let us get back to the mists and everything happening within them. A lot had gone down in Valaki last time. Uh, there was a ceremony, a sort of celebration. There was a saber-toothed tiger. There was running away. Um, and I believe to kind of help cool down some of the heat that might be following you all, you went to investigate the missing wine. And as you rested upon the brink of the winery vineyards borders, Jinx awoke to something perhaps not so pleasant. Um, but you all did manage to get a long rest. Of course, there is the vineyard.
So what should I do with this doll? Burn the last one and doesn't seem to have done anything.
Don't think that burning these is going to alleviate them. There seems to be something paranormal or otherworldly about them.
Do I bury this one?
I I don't think that's going to work either, but you're welcome to try.
Should I leave it here? I don't want to take it with me.
I would normally be of help in this situation, but I'm not an expert in magical dolls.
Makes two of us.
You could hold on to
I don't think I want to do that.
it.
Didn't our friend with the saber-toothed tiger say he was going to see a wizard or go to a wizard's tower?
Did say that he will be staying in a tower, not too far from where you are.
hate even thinking the thought, but I might be withholding on to just to see if maybe they can explain it.
Okay, it's gonna be weird, guys. Just don't judge me. Um, Jinx is gonna get I don't know, like would Jinx be able to find like we have some twine or something, like not something as thick as rope, but like or like some foliage or something. He wants to like bind the legs together and bind the arms to the body of this doll before he puts it in his backpack so that
Uh,
it can't like
so
walk away.
yeah, good thing for you. The doll isn't jointed like that. It's more of like a sort of totem carved full. Like you have areas where there's supposed to be arms implied, like little grooves, but it's not fully all the way through.
Oh, okay, that makes it even creepier. That it was able to just waltz into camp when it has no joints. Never
Just
mind then. I wouldn't be doing that because it wouldn't make sense to do so. Binks will put it in an isolated pocket of his backpack where it's the only thing in there, and he's gonna make sure it is far away from wherever he is keeping the letter that found him. He's
okay.
keeping that like tucked inside like a book or something, like tucked away so that it isn't immediately obvious where that letter is. Just keeping it safe.
Okay.
He feels deeply uncomfortable the entire time that the doll is in the backpack.
Okay. Then having, at least for now, figured out what you are doing with this doll, what is your plan?
Do our best.
What does your best look like?
Not 20s on every roll.
Yeah. A story that ends with us finding $20 and everyone clapping.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, it makes every story better.
I just want to live to see tomorrow.
Well, we're already here at the winery. I suppose now we just check it out.
Well, you're at the crossroads that lead down towards the
Oh,
winery.
yeah.
Since I guess we have to play specifics. Yes.
Yes, we do.
There were some undead that attacked us the night before, I
I do
think.
I do believe so. I can't remember for sure what attacked you, but I do remember that you were attacked.
Feel like it was zombies,
That sounds correct.
maybe.
Well, yeah,
No,
let's just head over to the winery.
Okay. We can head to the winery. Let me make the map visible for you guys. As I was doing DM things. Why does this not have where we were? Okay. So, as you clean up your camp and set down the branch of the Svalich Road that leads towards the winery, it's about half a mile before the road becomes this muddy trail. Set the ambiance correctly.
Noodling music?
No noodling music.
Uh,
Noodling music doesn't exist in Barovia.
I don't like your music choices sometimes. You could always choose noodling.
I could. But yeah, so this muddy road meanders through the woods and it descends gradually, and as the trees part, you see a mist-shrouded meadow as the trail splits. One branch heads west into the valley. The other leads south into dark woods. You see a wooden signpost at the intersection, and to the west it points and reads Vineyard.
Self-explanatory. I just follow the path to the vineyard.
Plain and simple, I agree.
Right. Following this path, it begins to drizzle lightly as you see unpainted fences that follow this trail blindly and skirt the north of the sprawling vineyard before bending southwards towards this very stately building. The fog takes on ghostly forms as it swirls between the neatly tended rows of grapevines. Here and there, there's a rope-handled half-barrel, likely used for the hauling of grapes. North of this trail, a large stand of trees, and it is there that you would notice something. A man, wearing a dark cloak and cowl, stands at the edge of these woods, these trees, and he beckons you.
I mean, come on.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, roll an insight check.
What are his intentions?
Well, I can tell you that. He wants you to get closer.
Well, what is he gonna do when we get closer? That's
You
a
don't
15.
know. You gotta get closer to find out. With a 15 insight check, this figure is very stern, very grim, and is beckoning you closer.
Maybe that's the owner.
Of the vineyard?
Yes? Question mark.
There's no one out here but us and him, so it's a good assumption.
Gosh dang it.
would like to go on the mark and say I don't believe this is wise, but
So,
Jinx wants to stand in motion for him to come to us.
does Jinx do that?
Want to. I think he's too distracted, so I don't think he does that, but he's thinking real hard about it.
Okay.
I'll approach carefully as well.
Okay. As unwise as this may feel to some in your party, as you step closer, you would notice that more figures step out of the tree line, all in these dark leather cloaks and cowls. They seem to be treated to deal with the rain.
you see.
One of these figures that have emerged from the woods calls out, uh, please, let's get you someplace that is not so motions generally. Doesn't really explain much, but you are being watched by the others.
They appear to be armed in
What's
a
your
visible way.
What's your passive perception?
18.
You don't see anything immediately. There potentially could be any number of weapons under their cloaks, but they don't have anything in their hands. So you'd be able to see if they were reaching for weapons pretty clearly.
Guess we'll follow them. They haven't tried to hurt us yet.
Ah, sure.
Yet is the operative word.
I again don't feel it is wise to follow cloaked strangers with weapons into the woods.
You don't know if they have weapons.
Oh, come on.
Alright. As you follow further into the woods, you come to an area where there are figures here, and there's not quite enough people present on my depiction. He was traveling with you. We have alright, this looks young. I just need to steal the face. Uh, we've got. But yeah, as you approach, with this entourage, you would see that there are other figures here. A few men, three of them, and then a woman holding a baby, and three children uh, standing near to them. One, obviously a teenager, old enough to probably be working on the vineyard, and two more that are small and sort of huddled next to their mother. One of the uh, figures that had been walking with you, a older and very seriously looking man, hasn't really said anything, will step forward and stand amongst the uh, two men here, and as he steps closer and stands next to them, you can see a very familial resemblance. These two seem to be his sons.
Hail.
As the others that are here turn and give you a nod, the older figure, as he's finishing speaking to the others, will turn and if you are here to steal from the winery, you are second in line. But I feel that you are no thieves, for you have come in peace, no?
That is correct. The barkeep at the Blue Water Inn said there were some issues at the winery.
And there's a bit of a scoff from that, and I see now. Well, he speaks truly. There is trouble here. Druids had invaded the winery, and they have forced us out. They bring blights, poisons, and havoc upon my business and my home.
Why would they do that?
Do not know. But If you are still interested in getting wine, you are welcome to take your chances. We have 3 barrels in the loading dock, 3 more barrels and bottles in the cellar. There is more that we were making, but it is not quite ready.
Well, I suppose that's as good of an invitation as any to go in and inspect the grounds for what we need.
Have you tried talking to the druids?
No, I was too busy protecting my family from the violence that they were raining down.
Free to hear of your hardship.
Perhaps we could convince the druids of what you need.
I wish you luck. If you feel confident in your silver tongues to do such a task, be more than welcome.
This one seems up to the task, and I'll point at Valen.
Well, if these druids and blights drove them out here, then don't think much of a silver tongue will work. We might have to get our hands dirty for this. But that won't stop me from helping. Won't stop us from helping.
And the old figure nods. So, do you set forth, continuing on towards the winery after this? We have more questions for those that are gathered here.
Got nothing.
Okay. So, then you continue further. This will work. As your as your troop furthers along through the rest of the vineyard here, making your way towards the winery, you see that it is an old two-story stone building. Of course, multiple entrances, and thick ivy covers every wall, and iron fencing sits along the rooftop. You'd see that this trail ends at an open loading dock on the ground floor. On the east side of the winery, there's a stable, wood, and very obviously a more recent construction. And it's next to the loading dock. And west of the winery, a crumbling well and a wooden outhouse. As you are reaching just the barrier of the winery's grounds, not quite yet to the loading dock, but close enough, you'd hear the rustle of dead vines all around you. As you turn and look, you'd see inhuman shapes that emerge from the vineyard, their limbs cracking as they trudge forth through the mist and rain. Let me just get some tokens on the... Oh no, did everything go wonky?
Hmm.
Everything disconnected for me, and there was this really glitchy, weird music.
Oh no.
Everything's coming through clean for me.
Yeah, I'm working
Okay.
fine.
Maybe it's a network issue on my end. It seems fine now, but I missed like a minute in there.
Spooky sounds, inhuman figures in the mists coming out of the vineyards, and I'm putting tokens down on them right now.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
When I have
Last
enough,
thing I heard, there was a stable and like a well or something.
I have enough time to cast Mage Armor because I haven't casted it yet on
Uh,
myself.
give me just a quick dexterity check.
Can I cast Mage Armor?
You don't have mage armor.
Good. You passed the test.
Oh, I did a save. That's a 22.
Even with the base roll, it'd be enough. Yeah, you have enough to do this before combat starts.
Nice. Okay. So, all right, Mage Armor is up.
Don't worry about all these numbers. They won't be attacking at once.
So close though. That's what I'm worried about.
No, they're not actually going to be that close. I'm just getting them all on the board before I actually position them.
Okay.
No.
You thought the wolves were bad.
Oh, cool. I love hearing that.
Oh, God.
And I wish I could have like a potion of fire breath or something right now. Sure would be nice.
Don't forget, you're not that far away from the loading dock. Alright. Let us roll some initiatives.
What a thing to get a natural 20 on.
And lose Sirenscape. Great.
Yeah, someone started casting some wackadoo spells at the end there.
Yeah, that's a thing. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. Jinx, you get to go first. What do you want to do? Oh no,
Lose Jinx.
did things go wonky again?
So I made eye contact with one of the women in the cars. And I was rolling my window down just to see how things were. And as I drove off, I realized I missed my moment to shout out, "You can't park there."
Alright. You back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
You get to start us off.
Oh, great. Guess I'll move a little bit. Got 6 squares. I'm gonna say I started on this square.
Okay.
I was mostly in that square.
Yeah, I just kind of moved you guys approximately.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm close enough. I'm gonna throw some daggers at Blake D. That's a 14.
Alrighty, a 14 will hit.
Cool. That's 5 points of damage. And I should have done this first, but I will use my bonus action to do insightful fighting. I'll make an insight check against it. I think it's deception. It's been a month, let me check. Oh. That's a 16 on my insight check.
You have insightful fighting.
Cool. So I'm gonna throw. Oh, no, I can't. I cannot throw my offhand because I used my bonus action. I will have a sneak attack on him next time.
Alrighty. It is our first blight who begins to he gets there and doo-doo-doo. That's going to be towards Jinx, as you are the closest. Does a 13 hit Jinx?
Does not.
Alright, then you are safe from the spray of needles that come in your direction. Mograine, it is your turn. You've got some movement in the mists ahead of you, and the winery behind you.
But behind us.
Yeah, you can see the loading dock from where you stand.
25, 30. That's where the needle. I'm moving in the direction where the needles came from.
Okay, you can see that needle blight.
Okay. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm gonna call that 60 right there. Into position for the needle blight.
Beautiful.
With a dash.
A Dayashe. Alrighty. Needle blight B.
Needle blight.
Yes. Starts sort of creaking its way over, and since now Mograine, you are the closest to it, it's going to try and get you. That is a 20 to hit. For 5 piercing damage at Mograine.
What was the roll on that?
20?
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be 5 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. I see your games.
Yeah. We're in one. Valen, it is your turn.
Okay. Okay. Looking through my spells, see what I want to do here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 gets me right there. And what's the range on my fireball? 120. Yeah, we're good. Needle Blight Beam is going to attempt to take a face full of fire. Firebolt. With a 21.
Yeah.
That is 18 points of fire damage.
Okay. B is down. And anything else from Valen?
I do not believe so. Those are all. What is actions? Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. Let me just do this real quick.
Hey.
What? They're just coming in as they come in.
Oh. Okay.
Do you want more? Alright, as Valen's turn comes to an end, our Needle Blight C. Gets over here. And we'll go after Valen.
Okay.
But misses. Alright, then we've got Needle Blight D over here. And is going to try and scrape and claw against you, Mograine. But I'm pretty sure that a 6 will not do it.
No.
Alrighty. Needle Blight J.
Oh, he's coming up behind me.
He gets right next to you, Valen, and is going to attempt to scrape and claw at you.
You can try.
Misses. Rolls the same thing as the other Needle Blight.
Yeah, cool.
E. Over here. He's gonna send some needles out towards Jinx. And misses. And brings us back to the top of the round with Jinx.
Okay, I'm gonna remember how to actually play my character this time. And remember my weapon masteries. So, I have D, I think, with Insightful Fighting.
Uh,
Don't think it matters right now because he's in melee with Mograine.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I will, I guess, continue to throw daggers at that guy. That's only an 11 to hit.
And unfortunately misses.
Great. We'll use the Nick property to throw my offhand dagger at the same guy and get a 25.
Yeah.
I will do sneak attack on there. So that is going to do 16 points of damage total.
Alrighty. That is one more Needle Blight down.
And I'm just gonna shuffle just a little bit. Maybe a little bit this way. And then I'll end my turn.
Okay. We come to Needle Blight A over near Mograine. Gonna try and claw at you.
What's his real name?
Aaron.
Hell yeah.
An 8 is gonna miss.
Yeah.
And then it is your turn, Mograine.
Hell yeah. We're gonna swing back at Aaron here.
Okay.
Ooh. Does a 7 hit?
No.
Alright, cool.
Anything else?
As a bonus action, because I have those. Nah, nothing that'll be useful for, all too useful right now that I don't want to. There's another wave of them coming? Alright, cool. That'll be
Yeah,
my turn.
there's a lot. Do remember that you do have the loading dock that you can get to.
Well, yeah, but what about all these twiglets?
You can get inside and, I don't know, close the door. Alright, we've got Needle Blight F coming in.
What's his name?
I don't know. Frank.
Frank the Needle Blade.
One of them has to be Jacqueline.
Yeah, that's probably Needle Blade J.
Yeah.
I thought Needle Blight F was fudge.
Nah.
I thought it was Fetal Blight. Fetal Blight the Needle Blade. He's here somewhere. Because we get down to K, so that means J is around.
Gonna go for some
There he is.
needles against Mograine. $15 to hit Mograine.
That was just hit.
6 points of piercing damage from the needles. G is gonna go.
Like, all at once?
Yeah. It's like a porcupine, but made of twigs.
Stop it.
I don't need more friends. One friend is enough.
We're gonna get needles out towards Valen
Nah.
with a 22 to hit
Yeah.
for 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
H. And why don't we get some needles out towards Jinx so Jinx doesn't feel left out.
I hate for that to happen.
Uh, 15 to hit Jinx.
Misses.
Alrighty. And your little needle blight eye. Is going to go for needles at Valen. Uh, 16 to hit Valen.
I beats it with my mage armor.
5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Valen, it is your turn.
Okay. Okay. I've only got one touch spell that I can do, and it's my chill touch. And what's this look like? J.
Yeah, that's Jaqueline.
Well, we'll do a
Get your Needle Blade.
try and do a chill touch. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
10 points in necrotic damage.
Alrighty. And anything else?
Dang it. No, that's it.
Okay. Our needle blight C. Gonna go over to Mograine as it creaks, the arm slings back, and the twigged claws come towards you with a 12.
Haha!
O begins making its way over. And
What's that one?
Oscar.
O'Reilly.
Is it cute?
And he's just gonna dash. He's gonna just continue making his way over. Little waddle run. He's going right there.
Now he sounds cute.
And our Needleblight J is going to try and claw at Valen once more.
Okay.
17 to hit.
Yeah.
For 7 slashing damage.
Ooh, boy. Okay.
And then we come to Blight E. Gonna go for clawing at Jinx. 20 to hit.
That hits. I would like to dodge it in an uncanny fashion.
Okay, that would have been 5 slashing damage. However, you only take 2. Cat-like reflexes. And we come to your turn, Jinx.
Jinx is gonna call out to his companions. Guys, should we be making a tactical retreat?
It's like Jinx was reading my mind. I was my next turn just yelled for us to get out of here. Go to the loading dock.
Okay.
So,
And the loading dock, I think I was frozen, I think, when that happened. What direction is that in?
behind you. It's about
Like off the map to the south?
off the map to the south.
Okay.
It's about, at this point, 30 feet away from you. So, I'll put it here as a narrative choice. If all of you are in favor of taking disengaged tactical retreats here, just let me know. You don't have to wait for your turn. If that is what your character is interested after Jinx calls that out.
Yeah, I've lost nearly half my hit points. I think it's time to go.
Alright, let's bogey.
Alright, then. As you rush in to the loading dock. Let me change where we're at. Okay. This is...
But what if we didn't do it, you know?
I mean, if you wanted to stay
What
there...
if we were just like kooky and wacky about it?
Alright, so... Let's first reveal some spaces for you. So, while the loading dock itself does not have any doors that you can close easily, you do see that there are 2 doors, one open, one shut, leading into other areas of the winery that can be perhaps shut and barricaded.
I will make moves to do that.
Alrighty.
Since these twig blights are just so slow.
I mean,
They're just so slow, Faye.
but yeah. Do you go for the open door then?
Yes, I will move to close it and then blockade it in some form or fashion. Using the tools and resources around me.
Okay. Jinx on the board.
As one is intended to in this instance and situation.
Alright, so as you move past the loading docks, quickly past the wagon with the 3 barrels and braces, uh, you run underneath the loading crane with ropes and hooks dangling from it. As you go to the southern door and are trying to close it, you would notice that it itself cannot be closed. It seems that it has been broken down, forced open. But as you now stand towards the turret with this sloping wooden floor spiraling to the cellars, you may be able to take some sort of barricade there, or through the open doors below it that seem to lead further in. Let me erase this for you. Need to further into the winery. Oh no. Did
Oh
my...
no.
Oh, okay. I was worried that I got lost there. But yeah, so this door that you've gone through, Mograine, does not seem to close easily, and there's not an immediate, unless you know, get the barrels from the crate there to sort of help in doing any sort of barricading of this door, or you can take refuge further in to the, uh,
I think I'll take. How heavy are these barrels?
they're filled with wine, so,
Very.
yeah.
So I will tip one over and begin rolling it and motion everybody to move through the door.
Okay. Then I will ask for a athletics roll here.
It's close to a 14. Somebody help me. Help me a little bit.
Jinx will attempt to help, but I don't know how much help is going to be.
Alright, can Jinx give me a, what's it called, athletics roll?
I can certainly try. That's a 3.
Cool.
Please don't ask the sorcerer to get involved here.
I mean, the sorcerer can always choose to abstain, but, you know, it might help.
Wouldn't it be
Going
ironic that the
Surely
sorcerer...
3 grown people can move a barrel of wine.
I do adjust the DC for everyone that helps, so.
Surely.
it gets harder the more you fail.
You're kidding.
How do three grown men not have $300 between them? The economy's in shambles.
Oh, that's great.
300
Love this.
electrum pieces. Because
My link
Barovia
died
hates
again.
me. You know what? The Lynx hate me too. The Lynx are from Barovia.
Interesting.
It just means that the link is spooky today, that's all.
I don't need spooky. I need things to go right. Um,
Yeah, I bet.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah, you would.
so it is going to be perhaps only a temporary setback. It's a temporary setback. Uh, but it'll be perhaps enough for you to find someplace safer in the winery to set up some sort of baseline operation. Or to maybe find out what's going on.
So I'm sorry. Did we or fail to roll this barrel?
No, you do. But
Okay, cool.
it's only going to be like a temporary thing because, you,
Sure.
you were
Well,
only
I would say
strong
we.
enough to get one barrel over there.
That's cool. We finish that all up, push it through the door, close the door, push the barrel up against the door. So now the question is, how many twig blights are as strong as 3 people?
Well, the door doesn't close fully all the way because of it can't close fully until it's repaired, but this
Mm,
will help in whatever sort of situation is needed to
mm,
get through.
I'll have
mm.
to squeeze through one at a time. Single file.
Essentially, yes. And if they are pack hunters, it's going to take a bit of time.
Surely they can't be that dexterous either. So maybe some will trip.
One way to find out.
They're made up of a bunch of brambles and stuff. They're gonna get hooked on the door.
Very true, very true. They're going to get splinters.
Going to get splintered.
Fuck it. It's just a fireplace and chimney anyway. Alright. So, what you see looking through the other open doors is I see Mograine stepping over in that direction. Is a raised section, and what you notice is more of the smell that comes from this area rather than what you'd see. As you smell the rich scent of fermenting wine, and do you enter further after you notice that smell, or do you stay where you're at?
You can check it out. I think it'd be kind of cool to check that out.
Is
Get a
that
little
Mograine
winery tour.
token or Thresh?
Yeah, that's Thresh talking, but
Yeah,
Bograin could be interested too. Bograin will be interested. He will
Mograine's a man of taste.
click in this door. Yeah,
All right.
the sweet fruit of the vine is important in his faith.
So what you would see here as you step closer in, to investigate is, of course, that it is 2 stories, and there is the wooden staircase in the center of the room, climbing up to the balcony that you are standing on. Um, no, that you are not standing on. That's above you. Uh, sorry, I am mistaken. I am reading my map wrong. Um, but you would also see that in this room, the southern wall uh, at the balcony has four windows. Um, Looking around as you step to these uh, enormous wooden casks with uh, filled with the wine for the most part. There are barrels underneath the where the balcony is standing, and you can see the Wizard of Wines burned into each of their sides. Um, and you would notice that beneath the sloping roof here, up in the rafters that stretch thick across the space, scores of ravens quietly gathered, watching you with great interest. You would also notice the creak of the balcony, and on the westernmost casket, a figure, wild looking and hunched over it. She's wearing a gown made of animal skins, a headdress with goat horns, her hair long and unkempt, and she is pouring something thick, like syrup, into the wine. And as you notice her and what she is doing, there is a skittering. Something small, and it looks to be made of twigs. Just like what you had seen outside.
I believe we need to keep moving.
Uh, Roll me a stealth roll to see if she's noticed you.
Oh, me no likey stealth rolls, except when they come up decent.
Alright. So, as you're able to step away before uh, this figure notices you, where would you like to go?
Home, ideally, but that's an
You,
option.
you gotta do some stuff before you can make it there.
Mokraine tell Jinx and Valen what he saw.
Yeah, Mogreen announced, at least that he thinks you guys should go. You can always inquire further on why that is.
Oh, is there nothing in there?
Mhm.
How does Mogreen reply to Jinx?
The sorry, one more time. Could you repeat that?
He said, "Oh, is there nothing in there?"
Okay, gotcha. There seems to be some fermenting booths, um, things here and there. Was that person that clock or walking around? Were they outside or inside?
They were inside and pouring something into the westernmost fermentation vat.
Westernmost. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
There is a person in here. Don't think they've seen me. Uh, they are pouring things into things. I am not sure what those things are.
Did it look like it could be one of those druids?
They looked older. They looked more in tune with nature. I believe it would be safe to assume that it might be one of his face slowly erases the fog of war.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still listening to you guys, but I do like erasing the fog of war.
Very carefully, like you're mowing a lawn.
Yes. It's the only reason why I've brought my tablet into use. So I can use this stylus and have better finesse.
I believe we could either rush this room and deal with this druid, or we could keep exploring elsewhere. Seems there's some stairs that go up next to us. Could do that.
The stairs that go up are in the wine room. The
Where's this next to us?
what is next to you is a ramp that leads down to the
Oh,
cellar.
I see. There seems to be a ramp that goes down.
Now you
We could
could
explore
try
that.
and climb the ramp up to the higher levels, but it is not stairs, so it will be difficult.
Right. Okay. Cool. I just saw it going in a circle. I thought it was a spiral staircase. If I'm
Nah, it is a spiral.
shoot.
Right. Yeah. It's a slide.
Yeah.
We can have fun here.
Maybe there's ladders around.
Um, can I listen at this ramp and see if I hear anything in the cellar?
Uh, roll for
One thing I
me a perception roll.
One thing I will point out is it might be unwise going down the chute, as that would be less likely for us to control the noise of us going down the chute.
Uh,
The
there
natural 20
does
for a 28.
seem to sound like there is movement down below, but it is hard to discern anything terribly specific.
You hear movement down there. Jinx will whisper to the other two.
Okay, so you are all now aware that there's movement in the cellar thanks to Jinx's amazing perception roll.
Good ears. I think that it is unwise to decide at this point, especially at the chute.
Did you say the
Valid.
staircase that goes upstairs is on the other side?
No. Well, there could be a staircase on the other side, but you have a chute that is next to you immediately, and a staircase in the middle of the fermentation vat area where there was a woman pouring things into one of the wine vats. Practicing some alchemy, it seems.
We try diplomacy.
Needleblights didn't seem too fond of diplomacy.
True. Jinx is wondering internally if needle blights are capable of speech. But he doesn't say anything aloud. He's just wondering to himself.
Why not
Okay.
have Jinx, roll me a history check. Let's see if you read anything about needle blights.
Okay.
Their vernaculars.
That's a 6.
Your wondering goes unanswered in your mind.
Yep. That checks out.
They actually speak Italian.
You still like Italian?
Arrivederci. Alright. So, with everything we know, I believe the safest and most effective here is to go for this druid in this room and see if we can't potentially question. At best, question them, at worst, kill them.
Potentially
Makes
both.
sense. Why
That's the
choose
best.
between two good options?
Right?
Yeah.
We can have it all.
You get the best
No.
of both worlds.
Don't. Do not. Not in this
Oh,
house.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm
we could
better
check
at
the.
the second half of that if one of you wants to do the first half.
I was going to say, since I am the charisma-based spellcaster, I can try, but I will add to the group that the second that I sense it's going to attack, I'm gonna blast it and kill it.
Makes sense.
If it kills you first.
No.
I'm ensure that doesn't happen.
Saying. Alright. So. Who is heading in first? Is it Balin?
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you asked for an initiative roll.
Not
I
yet.
guess it's me.
Go for it, bud.
What do you do when you enter the space, Balin?
So you said this person's at the westernmost tank?
Yeah, why don't I drop a little token over there?
Yeah, why don't you do that? It's gonna be like a 4x4.
Right? Uh
That's that one, right? Oh, that's not it. That one?
yep. She's just, leaned over. She's got a flask of something thick and syrupy. It looks dark, almost like molasses, and is being poured into the vat. And are you trying to be stealthy, or are you trying to just walk in?
Maybe a little stealthy.
Roll a stealth roll.
19.
Alright. She doesn't seem to notice you.
Okay. And so this level one, this is like the upper part of the walkway, right?
No, you'd have to go up the stairs to get to the upper part. That's the dotted line is denotating like the shadowed area from being underneath.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was just like,
I read my map wrong earlier. I'm sorry.
yeah. It makes it look like there's an upper part and a lower part.
There is an upper part and a lower part. You just haven't gone up to the upper part yet. If you scroll up on the map, there is more fog of war showing the upper part.
My Zoom doesn't like to work. Oh.
At least
Oh,
north
okay.
is up for a change. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So from where I'm standing, I can see this. Can I see this druid or this
Yeah.
person from where I am?
Yeah, totally. She's not hiding. she doesn't seem to have a reason to hide.
Okay.
What's your passive
Um,
perception?
my passive perception is 13.
Do. Let me check something here. Okay. Okay. There's another sort of sound of skittering as something you see moves across the ground. You
Okay.
only catch a bit of twig-like essence to this skittering creature before it goes away, hiding further in the room.
I'll say I'll make it to here, or get to here before I stop. I will call out to the druid. Are you sure you want to be doing that?
As you do this, she looks up at you, surprise and a bit of anger on her face. And you would notice something that you couldn't quite have seen while she was hunched over, um, hidden by the long and unkempt hair. She wears a handcrafted necklace with strange trinkets, but they're familiar, and it only takes you a moment to realize what they are. They're teeth from a humanoid.
Does.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Necklace is made of humanoid teeth.
Yep.
Like baby teeth?
Hold on, let me roll something.
Why do they all worship the teeth of a creature?
I mean, she might not worship the teeth creature. She might just like teeth.
Just for teeth and ravens. That's all.
Yeah, teeth and ravens. Um, it's like there's some sort of motif here in Barovia. Uh, there does not seem to be many baby teeth. They seem to be more, adult. They've got molars and whatnot over there. Which might be a little bit more intimidating for the fact that these teeth have been pried out of large jaws and not just picked up from where they fell. Do with that information what you will. But yes, Valen, she looks up at you. She's startled, a little angry. Do you do anything?
You can scowl at me all you want, and I don't know why you and your friends are here, but I think it's high time you get going.
Not
Or we
an
can make you leave.
You can try to make us leave, but you will not succeed. The ritual is started, and we wait for the great tree.
Um, I don't see a great tree here.
It
I only see
is
you.
coming, and you cannot stop it. As she's speaking, Can I have because I'm assuming Mograine and Jinx, you are listening in on all this.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
have what your passive perceptions are?
My passive perception is 56.
That's bullshit.
You're right, but it is 16.
All right, Mograine would
Mine is
notice this,
18.
and so will Jinx.
I was just buying time while I actually found it on my sheet.
That is very acceptable. Um, that skittering sound that you had heard before, and the entity that some of you had seen, you would notice that they are creeping closer, and Belgrain,
Hmm.
I want you to roll for me a stealth roll here.
Mm. Oh, one of these.
Cool. Give me just a moment to bring out some tokens.
Oh, plural.
Yes, plural. Uh, and you've got you would see that one there for Mograine. Jinx and Mograine would see that one coming out of its hiding spot.
Oh.
And Mograine,
Mm.
you would watch one come out of this barrel where it's cracked on the side. And it just looks at you as it has spotted you as it fries its way out. And there is a screech from this creature which will cause the druid to act. We're going to be rolling initiatives here.
I,
Oh.
I was I was gonna ask if Jinx could have snuck into the room and hid somewhere, but here we are.
I would say that you guys were kind of snuck in. It's just not quite super hidden. But
Can I
as
also ask a question
sure.
before things kick off? When
Mm-hmm.
I walked into the room, did I see all of the ravens in the rafters?
Yes.
Did I get a vibe check on the ravens? Do they seem to be not happy that the druid is here, or do they seem to be with the druid
They just kind of seem to be at this moment, just watching,
eating popcorn?
just watching intently. Alrighty, and as we roll our initiatives, before we get into battle, I'm actually gonna say let's take a little break here, a little breather, and
Mm.
we'll come back to see all this fun stuff. Alrighty. Back to our screen. Back to our battle. Initiatives have been rolled. Press to start combat. And
It begins.
it begins. So if we could have... Oh. Twigblight A goes first. That is interesting. Skittering and crawling over the barrels. It's going to dash to make its way next to Mograine. We're going to center Mograine to be right there. So,
Hey, don't move me.
I'm moving you.
Alright, so I need the names of all the twig blights, the name of the druid, and the names of all the swarms of ravens, specifically the name of each bird and each swarm of each raven.
Yeah, that's not happening. Valen, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Alright, well, the Twig Blights seem to be on my other companions, but my focus is on the druid.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll save that for another time. Why don't we try and blast it with some fire?
Why don't you try and blast it with some fire?
That is a 16.
A 16 will hit our druid.
Lovely. For 12 points of fire.
Okay. Alright. That is one way to do it. Anything else from Valen?
It might come in handy down the line. Let's see how many sorcery points it is real quick. I'm going to do a bonus action and spend 2 of my sorcery points to regain my level 1 spell slot.
Okay.
And that's it.
Jinx, it's your turn.
Okay, well, I think you said before the break that I can see Twigblight B.
Yes.
So I would like. Are these ravens still in the rafters? Or
Yes.
have they, like, flown down? Okay, so they're still just. They haven't done anything.
Yeah, they're just there.
I will do insightful fighting with my bonus action on Twigblight B. And I got an 18 on my insight.
I'll roll it, but I don't think it's gonna be good. Yeah, it goes into effect.
Cool. I will throw a dagger for a dirty 20. And with sneak attack damage on there, that's 18 points total.
Alrighty. And that is 1 down.
Okay. I would have heard the twig blight bee screech, right?
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna move into this corner. Can I see it?
Yeah, you see it like where it's like squeezing out of the crack in this vat.
Okay, I'll throw my offhand dagger at it with the Nyx feature. It's an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
And it does a whopping 1 point of damage.
There's more screeching from this twig blight.
Unsurprising.
Alright, anything else?
That is it.
Alright. As Twig Blight B fully exits out of the barrel now, let's roll. Sticking with the initial target of Mograine, As it's going to try and claw at you, and that is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, what do you want me to say?
6 points of slashing damage.
Stop it.
And as we come to our Raven's turn, all of them acting together, they go towards Twig Blight A, and you watch as these ravens, as they descend and swarm the Twig Blight, pick it apart.
Oh,
Love that for us.
that's pretty cool.
And then... which guy is you? We'll just go down the line. Another guy comes out of the barrel